guys, what a pleasure. That's going to be a tough act to follow right there. Everybody, this day is for y'all. I want to personally tell you how much I appreciate what you do every single day. Chuck, what you do every day. Everybody with international operations, and Jim, Coach Ryan, what a great mentor we all have. And thank you so much for always being level-headed, Jim, and always being there. I, too, have to take a second to get my glasses on these days, unfortunately. Well, it's been 54 years since our first international project in Puerto Rico. We've had many rental office spaces that the international group the support group has used. Most of them less than stellar locations, less than stellar office furniture. I remember Inverness Parkway. We had the brand new main office up on the hill, but the support office was always down on Inverness Parkway, and then I think we ended up at the Chase Corporate Center in some office space that nobody else would lease. We're always looking for the cheapest office space and kind of hand-me-down furniture. But we always had one goal, and that was to support the projects. And that is really what we have excelled at, is supporting the projects, whatever they needed. Our support office here is really what has differentiated us. We have fantastic field teams everywhere in the world working. But I'm just returning from Gabon, and 2 months prior I was in Ethiopia. And really over the last 10 years since I've been traveling on these embassy projects, there's really one consistent theme that every project director from the OBO tells us, that's our client. Says, you guys have great field teams, you really know what you're doing in the field, but however you get these materials here phased, on time, logistically phased so we can do the construction, that's something that you do better than all of your competitors. And so I want to congratulate all of you in the support operations and what you have done for so many years in doing that. That's really the differentiator between us and a lot of our competitors, is this support office. Also, I want to dedicate this day and this building to those early international teams that sacrificed family, traveling to some of the most remote areas of the world to do what they love to do. Names like Sam Tommy, Darwin Oglesby, Chip Chenoweth, Red Morgan, Bill Phillips, Saul Lepp, and of course they had home office support of James Stone, Ted Randolph, Ed Dixon, of course my dad, and Uncle John. But these guys sacrificed their families, went to these far-away places to build, and you guys supported them. So I want to dedicate this building to them. Those names go way back. Alf Hill did not join us until 1978, okay? So we're going back to 1963. So Alf, you're kind of a new boy on this scale, all right? But the support, Alf, obviously for all the years, thank you so much for everything that you have done. Since I became involved in the company, I personally always wanted to do everything to get the two international and the U.S. operations, the two divisions, working out of one building. I felt it would make us more cohesive as a team. In reality, since moving the international operations here to Lakeshore, giving both groups their own identity, room to grow, each group has become more efficient, specializing in each of their individual business models. So we've seen really, to be more efficient and cohesive, we do have two different business models, therefore we're going to have two different offices. This new facility will allow us to become even more efficient in what we are doing presently, but also with the ability to modify based on our markets of the future. You've heard a few elements of the design from Chris, but I want to tell you what I think is one of the most important elements of this building. Something we have needed drastically in the last 20 years is some function space. This building here, as you can see from the rendering, we've got a lot of chairs there in the rendering, but we're having a space that's going to be available for us to have nice functions. We can interact as a, good save over there, Dave, good work. Dave Shearer, not only can he ship materials all over the world, he can good work. So this function room, and we're going to do the same thing at the 820 building. We're going to have a function room where we can have a lot more interactive socials and also entertain some of our private clients that we're working with. So I think that's going to be a very big part of this building. We're going to have a lot of opportunities to get together and talk about good construction projects. We could have worked with many architects around the world on this project just because of the nature of the embassy business we're doing and the architects that we've met. But we have an opportunity to work with a world-class architect right here in Birmingham. You've heard Chris speak a little bit. I want to tell Chris personally how much I'm looking forward to working with Chris and all the team at GA Studio. These guys have built and designed some of the most spectacular buildings, I think, around the Southeast, and if you can see the rendering, you can see what they are capable of. Also, I want to say, you know, Chris, there are a couple of people, Van Hoover and Alf Hill, that have always win the Work Ethic Award every year, okay? But Chris Jatina and his team at Jatina Aycock, those guys, you go by there on a Sunday night, about 9:30 at night, full parking lot. These guys really are passionate about what they do and will design us a fantastic building. And Chris is a close personal friend, and just very happy to have him working with us on this project. I want to conclude by dedicating again to the people of this company who desire to do things a little bit different, to go places that others were afraid to tread, to take greater risk to receive a greater reward. Of course, we were all inspired to do this by my father, who lived this philosophy. We all wish Dad were here today, as we know he would be very proud. We will always be reminded of him in this building as his large world map that y'all have seen on the ceiling, basically, in the existing offices. The world map will be displayed in his honor. For those generations that will come later, one will only have to see the many flags that will be flying and the world map to see the size of the vision that my father had. So in closing, I want to congratulate all of you for this fantastic accomplishment. Without all of your work around the world every single day, we would never have this opportunity. So this building is for y'all. We're going to have a lot of great memories here. We're going to have a great time building this building. And as Jim said, our greatest days are in front of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Billy and Jim. There's two gentlemen up here right now that I can guarantee you none of us would be standing here right now if it wasn't for Pat Mitchell and Eric Agnew. They're both very humble and they're always in the background and they don't like to talk much, but I can tell you every country, well, maybe Pat talks a little bit, but a little known fact that people don't know is every country that we go into, we actually have to set up a business. We do a proper branch or a subsidiary, and we set it up like a business. And there's nobody better in the world at doing that than Pat Mitchell. He's fantastic. And I mentioned earlier that we have been awarded 35 different jobs throughout the 10 years. Well, the gentleman that's responsible for all 35 of those jobs is Eric Agnew. We have a little thing in construction, and I think everybody probably has the same little situation in their business where we play the good cop, bad cop. And even though Eric is as big as they come, he's always the good cop, which is kind of ironic because I'd like to see him be the bad cop one time, as long as I'm not in the room. But anyway, thanks again to those two. They do a fantastic job and really appreciate everything they've done. Companies often make the statement that we are only as good as our people. At BLHI, we truly believe in this statement. We are a full general service contractor, and we have some of the best builders in the world on our team. We currently have 2,500 employees, located in 12 different locations throughout the world. We are represented by 45 different nationalities. We are a true international company in every sense of the word, excuse me. I would like to thank each and every one of the 2,500 BLHI employees located all around the world. Without their tireless effort, we would not be here today. In closing, I would once again like to thank Pat, Eric, Alf, all of the managers with BLHI, and all of the employees for the outstanding job that you do. Thank you very much.